That was always, you have this kind of naive as a child, you're defending innocent people when in fact almost all of your clients are very, very guilty, right? The overwhelming majority, and you're just trying to mitigate the consequence.
Willie D Live.
It's Willie D, y'all, back with another episode of information and instructions to help you navigate through this wild, crazy, beautiful world. In the studio, Charles D. Adams. Do you like when people add the D in there?
Oh, I don't care.
You don't care?
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, don't make a shit to me.
Man, I saw you and Bun and Queenie and who was that other guy on the picture of y'all? Y'all were in Nano, Japan.
Oh yeah, we were. That was like the 2018 rally. English Andy, he's a Dallas guy. He grew up in Surrey, England, but he's a bar owner up in Dallas, and he is the fourth guy on our little rally car team that me and Bun have.
Yeah, y'all have fun with that.
Well, great time. Traveled all over the world.
Gumball 3000.
Yes, sir. You go places. Last year it was Ho Chi Minh City, Vietnam, the old Saigon, to Singapore, right? But we went to Cambodia, Malaysia. We went all these places I would have never gone, and that's what's fascinating about it, right? I'm not into the supercar, hypercar, that kind of rich douchebag, because you have that there, but you have different cliques of people, and you also have a lot of wonderful people. The Ja Rule came out this year. That was interesting. I never met him. But for me, it's about experiencing all these weird places. Like the year before or 2 years before, we went to Montenegro, which I did not know was a country at all. It's south of Croatia, but we had driven from Budapest, Hungary, all the way down the coast, kind of the opposite coast from Italy. And, stuff's amazing. It's really cool. And I'm only doing it because, Bun invited me to do it years ago, and he lets me keep coming along. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm about to get out there one day, man. I'm testing my driver skill. I don't want to just tag along. I want to drive.
Yeah, no, we drive. We all take turns driving. It's exciting. It's not a race, right? But you're still trying to get there pretty quick. It's 3,000 miles.
You don't want to be last.
Yeah, you definitely don't want to be last.
Yeah. Man, you are a trial attorney. You've been a judge. You've been a cop. As a former cop turned defense attorney, what was the moment that shook your belief in the system that you once enforced?
I never really had that moment because for me, I always intended to be a criminal defense attorney, which is in fact a practice I've recently shuttered. But when I was a kid, I spent a good bit of my childhood with my grandma, and her and I would watch Perry Mason reruns at 10 o'clock in the morning all summer long on WTBS, black and white TV. This is like the late 70s, early 80s. And I just always wanted to be a criminal defense attorney. That was always, you have this kind of naive as a child, you're defending innocent people when in fact almost all of your clients are very, very guilty, right? The overwhelming majority, and you're just trying to mitigate the consequence. But that was always the plan. I did not grow up in a financial circumstance where just going to school was an option, right? I had to work. I had, everything from fry cook at Sonic. I had my own grass cutting business. I did the U.S. Census my senior year of high school. Sold furniture, worked at Radio Shack, got a job barbacking, bartending, bouncing, and literally just took a civil service exam with a buddy of mine who's now a captain with the sheriff's department here. He was going to take it. He said, man, take this test with me. And I got a perfect score and became a police officer at a very young age, which I did think would edify me I thought it would help me being a criminal defense attorney, but it was never the career plan. Having said that, I absolutely loved it. Like I had, the 90s was a different time. I loved being a policeman. And I do think that there are a great number of sincere public servants in a flawed system. And I think the demonization we've seen holistically of law enforcement over the last decade is misplaced and has led to some pretty bad American outcomes, right? That is not to suggest there weren't horrifying outcomes the other way, but it's like a pendulum. So I don't think our system is incredibly broken outside of the drug war, which I think is really to blame for decades of, by design, systemic oppression of poor people and black men of all socioeconomic classes, right? Which is what's unique about that.